welcome back to Atypical Talk. This is a podcast where we have conversations that illuminate the intersection of faith, culture, and the common spaces of our humanity. I'm Abby.
I'm Joel.
And I'm Brooke.
And I found out yesterday that it's National Pizza Month, which I love. Yeah, I didn't know that got a whole month. I figured that was a day thing, but
it's too big of a deal in our culture to be just a day. It needs its own month.
Yeah. So I wanted to ask, where's your favorite place to get pizza, and what toppings do you get?
Oh man, this changes for me from time to time.
Does it?
In Kokomo, I really like Oscar's Pizza. I think that's like a big favorite.
Yeah.
But lately we've been going to Bruno's Pizza a lot, which is right around the corner from us, and it has a drive-through window, which is really, really great when you have littles. And my favorite pizza there is called The Mike. I know, really intense, right? Named after Mike Dingo, who was a big, customer at this restaurant for a long time. He always ordered this. It had sliced pepperoni, banana peppers, oregano on top, and some extra sauce.
Ooh,
and
sounds good.
It's really good. It's really good pizza. My kids just want cheese, basically. So that's we usually have to get a small cheese for them to argue over in that way. But I like that one a lot.
Yeah. I am a lot like your kids, where I most places I will get just cheese. If I don't do cheese, then I'll do like lots of veggies. I like banana peppers, mushrooms, tomatoes, like all of that. But my favorite place is, and I think it's just because I can't get it all the time, it's a place in my parents' hometown or the town that my parents live, called Snyder's Pizza. And my sister used to work there, and I love going there and just getting a personal cheese pizza and some breadsticks. It is delicious, like just the right amount of sauce, and the cheese is always gooey. Like it's perfect.
Oh man,
something nostalgic about that too. In your hometown, for sure. Mm-hmm. I used to work at a pizza and ice cream place in Peru called East End.
East End Double Dip.
That's right, and loved it so much. And their pizza, I really enjoy just their sausage pizza, but. I'm so sorry, East End. My favorite pizza of all time
shots fired
is probably Pizza Junkies. I don't know all time. I guess this is locally. Pizza Junkies.
Into the chat. Pizza Junkies
it's
all time.
So good, bro. It's so good. Yeah, I don't know about all time, but like definitely one of our favorites. And they have a grilled cheese pizza that has like a garlic sauce or an Alfredo sauce or something as the base, and then just a whole bunch of cheese. And I normally do love pizza toppings, but this one is elite with just the cheese. Oh, it is so good.
That sounds amazing.
We can do anything with pizzas these days. Like grilled cheese pizza, pickle pizza. If you've not tried a pickle pizza.
The pickle pizza we had one time, that was good.
It was from Pizza Junkies. It's really, really good.
Like, taco pizza?
Yeah, taco. I mean, there's just so many different things you can do. Anything is possible on a pizza pie.
Yep. Yes. So we need to have a pizza party sometime this month, obviously.
Good. You know what? We'll forego our Christmas party and Christmas bonuses as staff. Just what everybody wants. Just a line of pizzas.
Yeah.
You heard it here on the pod. Just kidding.
Our first topic today is a religion news article titled "How Rapturetok Amplified an Extreme Corner of Faith." The viral TikTok trend Rapturetok emerged when users like Hannah Gallman posted videos claiming the biblical rapture was imminent, with Gallman announcing she was fired from her job after praying to be home with her family during what she believed would be the end times. Her 9-minute video garnered 1.2 million views, but the trend quickly evolved as other users began mocking and archiving these rapture-related posts, with accounts gaining thousands of followers by republishing and critiquing the original content. This phenomenon exemplifies how TikTok's algorithm amplifies extreme religious performances, often through mockery and spectacle that captures users' attention. Experts worry about TikTok's impact on young people's faith and mental health, noting how the platform decontextualizes religious practices and encourages constant deconstruction of beliefs without providing alternatives. While some users, like ex-Mormon Britt Hartley, use the platform to address religious trauma, others express concern that Gen Z is caught in cycles of breaking down institutions without building meaningful community or identity in their place. So do you think trends like these are as destructive as they're talking about in this article, or what did you think about all of this mess that went on? You know, TikTok, social media, all that.
Well, I just want to go on the record and say that this pastor from South Africa was definitely wrong, and I am now predicting that the rapture will... Oh my gosh,
no.
I have so many thoughts about this,
Yeah.
and it's so sad. And then like the way the internet culture sort of jumped on this is just really interesting as well. Yeah, I mean, this is just a dark reality in so many ways. Like for me personally, I grew up around the Left Behind series of books about the rapture, and I guess the article doesn't really explain this like verbatim, or we didn't, at least in a summary, but like the rapture is this idea inside of some strands of Christianity that like when Jesus returns, things are going to be kicked off by all of the Christians, you know, disappearing and going directly to be in heaven, leaving maybe a pile of clothes and whatever is left in that way. And there were, you know, a series of books in the 70s, 80s, and 90s and movies and all talking about this is coming really, really soon in a very fear-driven way. And I mean, I remember being so scarred by those realities and, you know, making sure, am I in? Like literally one time, my parents had left on a Saturday morning to take a walk around our neighborhood, and they were in the middle of like doing laundry in our living room, but it looked like there were just clothes out everywhere. And after I'd read 2 or 3 of these books, I was like convinced I missed the rapture and I'm going to have to like deal with the Antichrist now. And my parents got to go to heaven, like this whole thing. And it's just so jacked up. And so you really see how, you know, somebody on the internet and TikTok jumping on this is going to, you know, stir up a lot of fear in people and a lot of like, oh gosh, what is going to happen with it? So yeah, it made me really sad to see that. And, you know, one thing the Bible is not crystal clear about at all is the end times. The only thing that the Bible is clear about is Jesus saying that no one will know the day or the hour. It's like, that's the only thing that's clear. And so it's really interesting to me that when people get so granular and this is going to happen on this time and causes all this uproar, and then they sell a bunch of books and it doesn't happen, and here we are. Every single time.
I've seen a lot of people talking lately about how when they were a child, they'd wake up every day and be like, the rapture is going to happen today, because they were like, if I predict it, then Jesus has to push it back some more. And
what a funny concept.
remember I did the same thing as a child because I was so
he says
scared
no one
about
will
it
know, so
happening.
if I say it, then he's got to kick it down the...
Oh man, what a
On
kid way
today's
of thinking.
episode of How Dumb Do We Think God Is, that we can manipulate God, right? But we do that in so many ways. I never thought about that. That is amazing. Yeah, it's really sad that it gets to this place. And then honestly, like, what does it do to a watching world of the validity of what Christian faith actually is when here it is again, another prediction and people quitting their job and not doing things, and oh my gosh, these crazy Christians, right? There's a little bit of that too, where it just breaks my heart to be like, people see this and they're like, oh my gosh, these crazy religious people.
Yeah. I think just overall too, the screen in general, as far as like Instagram, TikTok, all of the socials, like they can be such a great tool to connect and create community, but also they can just create such a divide. And so I feel like this is just another one of those trending things that are dividing more people on the internet. And yeah, it's just a bummer. It was shocking to me. I didn't have a ton of Rapturetok on my feed a couple of weeks ago.
It was all Life of the Showgirl stuff. That was it. It was all Taylor Swift stuff.
No, it really wasn't. It wasn't that either, actually, a couple weeks ago. But after reading the article, I kind of dove into it a little bit. And it was shocking. Like, people were selling their things even. And so that's so sad, because these are people who just really have bought into an idea and literally sold everything they have to prepare for what was coming. And man, I wonder what they're doing now.
Yeah, it is crazy. And I think for me, I learned in college that the rapture is actually not a very ancient Christian idea. I actually learned, I took a class on apocalyptic literature in my undergrad, and I remember learning that nobody in Christian history until 1909 had ever interpreted verses to think that there was a rapture. Like that's even a part of the end time thing. You're talking almost 2,000 years of church history where that was not a popular idea. It wasn't ever written down about or published. And then in 1909, there was this guy by the name of Cyrus Scofield who had this one view of the Bible, and he used the King James text, and he made a Scofield reference Bible, like the very first kind of study Bible. And it had an explanatory note where he talked about this one passage in 1 Thessalonians and talked about a rapture. And it's crazy how something for almost 2,000 years of church history, I mean, most of church history was not even a common idea, but now it is the ever-present idea of what the end times looks like. I mean, I couldn't even I didn't even have an idea of what, Jesus' return would look like without this kind of rapture. But you're like, man, we're only in 2025 since Jesus died and came back. And you're like, and we were at 1909 and nobody even talked about this thing, and now it's everything. So it's kind of mind blowing to even consider, like, maybe we should reevaluate that idea in Christian theology. But beyond that, I do want to just affirm, like, I think the human impulse that people have to look for the return of Jesus and to look for an exit out in a way, because I mean, the world is a beautiful but broken place, and it seems to be more chaos everywhere we look, in institutions and in families and in personal lives. And I think there is a human impulse that we want to see things put back together. We want the world to be set right, and we want Jesus, if we follow Jesus, believe in Jesus, to be king and to do things the right way. And so there is a beautiful impulse of, like, God, make things right again, But when we just treat the whole story of Jesus making things right to, I need to get out of here and get my, like, gospel train up into heaven, and evaporate into the sky. I think we should take a closer look at the scriptures and what it teaches about the return of Jesus, because the idea of a rapture it's very fearful for a lot of people, but it also, I don't think, is the most faithful interpretation. It's a rather new idea instead of an ancient idea for the people that have gone before us.
Yeah.
I was actually watching recently, the Bible Project has, like the videos for different...
Tim Mackey and the Bible Project. So
and
good.
So for First Thessalonians, like in the video that the Bible Project put out, it talks about Paul saying that Jesus followers should live in the present as if the day of his return is already here, not like just waiting for that time.
We're getting out of here, selling my stuff.
Yeah.
So it's a really awesome idea to actually study and reevaluate. Man, it should make its way into our understanding, because I think what we've seen through Rapturetok and beyond is just, it's missing the point of so much of what the scriptures are trying to teach us and what Jesus is on about when he's bringing his kingdom here, not us getting the heck out of here because the world's so bad. I think so much we could talk about there. But yes, so yeah, next Tuesday, 3 p.m., 3:17 p.m. That's I'm calling it. We're doing that. I'll send you guys the Google Calendar
We'll mark
invite.
it down, yeah.
Welcome to the last episode of Typical Talk.
I'm not selling any of my stuff, though.
Okay. Our next topic, it's a NBC News article titled "Reading Rainbow to Return with Viral Librarian Mychal Threets as its host." After nearly 2 decades off the air, the beloved children's show Reading Rainbow is making its comeback with a fresh face at the helm. The iconic program, which originally aired on PBS from 1983 to 2006 under the guidance of LeVar Burton, captivated young audiences for 21 seasons before being canceled. The reboot will be hosted by Mychal Threets, a former Solano County library supervisor who has become known as the internet's favorite librarian through his viral social media presence. Threets gained widespread recognition for sharing daily library interactions and openly discussing mental health challenges, building a massive online following of literacy advocates and book lovers. The reboot promises to maintain the show's core mission of motivating children to become avid readers while featuring celebrity guest stars. As Threets expressed in the announcement, the return represents an opportunity to continue exploring the world of books together with a new generation of young readers. Did you guys watch Reading Rainbow growing up?
I did.
Yeah.
Butterfly in the sky.
Somebody had to do it.
Yes, yeah. I can go twice as high. Yeah, man.
Yeah, it was so
awesome.
good. I love.
Take a look.
It's in a book.
There we go.
I just really loved that growing up. I feel like it kind of pushed me to read more. Like I read a lot growing up, but that show in itself really pushed me further. So what did you guys think of this return and the changes coming to it?
I love it's coming back. I think it is a time when people's attention spans are less. People are reading less than ever before, and because of screens and technology, that can be so enticing to all of us, but especially young kids who are still developing in their brains. Like anything that can highlight literacy and highlight the joy that it is discovering this world through books is an awesome thing. And so, I'm excited for my kids to watch this and then get books from this and, you know, continue to like read in that way. You know, we just at a parent-teacher conference for our oldest today, and one of the things she had mentioned was like, you know, the difference that she can tell when parents are reading to their kids and when there's like stuff going on at home. And we're far from perfect in it, but it's something that we really aim to do, is to read to our kids every single day. Even though right now Lucy, the baby, just wants to pick up a book and put it in her mouth and doesn't want us to turn the pages, but we're still trying to read a book. But like, I think that's just so important. It's going to be forever important. I mean, I think so much of who I am today is because I could sit down with a book and I'd love to get lost in it and learn from it and discover new things. And so, yes, I want that to be something for my kids. So bring it back, Reading Rainbow. And then like just the highlights of mental health and different kind of angles that the new guy can bring, I think is a great thing.
Yeah, I think so too. I always enjoyed watching Reading Rainbow, and I feel like it, even though you're watching a show, it like brings so much imagination to you and like really brings the book to life. And I could be wrong, I don't know of any shows right now currently that are doing that. Yeah. And so I think it's
You got that, Miss Rachel? You heard that? You're on blast.
I mean, don't get me wrong. We play plenty of Miss Rachel in my house. But I am excited to get to show my kids Reading Rainbow, and hopefully a lot of the elements that were in it when I was growing up have stayed as well. Because there's something about sitting down and reading a book that I just think is so important for kids all the way up to like now as an adult. There is just something different when I pick up a physical book to read rather than just reading it on, you know, a screen even.
In this world of like reading the headlines, and I'm guilty as anybody of like, I saw a headline today, but I didn't even read into the article. You know, I think the idea of having that attention span and that joy of like sitting down and immersing yourself in a story, in some teaching, like whatever it might be, is just so important. And it's one of the things that I have like this looming fear about my kids with, like, oh, we're going to try to get that in you, because like it's not going to be natural, and it's not going to be really pressed in a lot of ways, but it's just so important. So love that it's coming back. That's really cool. Yeah.
And I had heard a while ago that like there were rumors that Reading Rainbow was coming back, and I was like, oh, who's going to host it? Like, I feel like you need to have just the perfect person to do it. And I've seen videos on Mychal's TikTok and stuff, and he is the perfect person to do it and replace LeVar Burton. It's going to be awesome. I'm really looking forward to it.
Yeah. He was saying too, Mychal was saying, and I think it might have even been in a TikTok that I saw, not in this article that we read, but he really looked up to LeVar, and that was the reason why he even became a librarian in the first place, was because of how much he looked up to LeVar. So I thought that was really cool too.
Yeah. So what was your guys' favorite book or book series as a kid growing up?
When I was really little, I liked Rainbow Fish, and
I don't know about this Rainbow Fish.
It's really sweet. I think I just liked it because the fish had one sparkly scale.
Yeah, it was the coolest book ever.
Why was it so cool?
Do you guys have do you have a copy at home? No?
I'm sure I do.
Can you try to bring it in? Because I'd love to see that.
Yeah. And then I also loved The Very Hungry Caterpillar.
It's a classic.
Yeah, really anything by Eric Carle. Yeah. And then as I got a little older, you know, and I was more interested in reading books that didn't have a ton of color and picture, like second, third grade, I loved Junie B. Jones. And the Boxcar Children.
I love Boxcar Children
was like
too.
That was early for me, because that's like, that was a chapter book, right?
Yeah.
I remember it being like maybe the first kind of chapter books that I was reading was the Boxcar Children. That was really cool.
So I remember me and my siblings, we would like pretend to be them and stuff, and like it was so fun to go out back and use our imagination. Another one was the Chronicles of Narnia. Like,
Oh, yeah,
we
so
had
good.
that on audiobook, and I would listen to it as I went to bed.
Yeah.
It was so great. I loved reading growing up. I still love reading. Yeah.
So for me, the first book I remember falling in love with, like just being young, was Where the Wild Things Are. Like I remember like the illustrations and the stories. Like looking at it now, I'm like, it's a little scary looking.
It is
but
a little
didn't-
bit.
and for some reason, it never like registered in my mind like that. And then getting a little bit older, it was totally the Chronicles of Narnia. And you know, The Lion, Witch, and the Wardrobe, and all those books were so amazing. But then I remember getting a little bit older again and getting into the Goosebumps books, which are like
Oh, yeah.
kids horror books that
Yeah.
now I'm like, I can't, like they're scary looking and I'm sure they freaked me out, but I was like really drawn into that. As soon as I could read grown up books, I remember getting into the Star Wars extended universe books.
Oh.
So this is like books that were like in the early 90s after the original trilogy was done, and it built out this whole thing, and I'm like really geeky right now, and that's
I was
okay.
going to say, this is for the real nerds.
Real nerds, but like this whole thing with other characters and like what happens with Han Solo and Luke Skywalker and Leia after Return of the Jedi, and it was so cool. I read like 15 of these books, and then when the movies came back in 2015, they made it all like nothing mattered. It was like all just like legend, and like, wait, that character Mara Jade was a real character. Don't tell me she doesn't exist in these stories. But I would read those all the time and
Yeah.
just geek out on all the fun Star Wars stuff. But
That's
I
awesome.
love that.
Our last topic today, it's a Relevant magazine article titled 52,000 Christians have been murdered in Nigeria. Why is nobody talking about it? Nigeria has become one of the world's most dangerous places to be a Christian, with an estimated 52,000 Christians having been killed since 2009. This year alone, over 7,000 have been murdered and thousands more kidnapped, while more than 19,000 churches have been destroyed and millions of believers displaced from their homes. Armed groups, including Islamist extremists like Boko Haram and ISIS affiliates, as well as militant Fulani herdsmen, storm villages, kill men, abduct women and children, and burn churches and crops. Despite the scale of this crisis, it has received little global attention. The Nigerian government has promised investigations, but accountability remains rare, with security forces accused of responding too slowly or failing to act at all. Several Christian organizations are working to provide humanitarian support to persecuted believers, including Global Christian Relief, Open Doors, International Christian Concern, Voice of the Martyrs, and Equipping the Persecuted. These groups offer emergency aid, medical care, trauma counseling, and spiritual support to victims and displaced families. While the crisis can feel overwhelming, these organizations provide tangible ways for believers worldwide to support Nigerian Christians through donations, volunteering, and advocacy, reminding the persecuted that they are not forgotten in their daily struggle to maintain their faith under constant threat. So did you guys know this was going on? I know it mentions in the article, like, it hasn't gotten a lot of news coverage, and I had no idea.
Yeah, I just heard about it for the first time like less than a week ago.
Yeah.
And I had to look into it more because I'm like, that sounds extreme. I would have heard about this if this was really as bad. And it really is.
Yeah.
Like everything that you read from different news sources talk about how specific the targeting is towards Christians and how much bloodshed there actually is.
Yeah. I had, and I feel silly saying this, I think I read a headline, not even the whole article, about it maybe a week or two ago as well. Not, it's been pretty recent. Yeah. And just really sad. I think it's so easy for us to get stuck in like our own bubble or like whatever news is being cycled and targeted for our own social medias or whatever. And then, you know, kind of the outside world, or if it's not on our main feed, like it kind of gets lost. And yeah,
I mean, that's a good point. Like just, it's a really good reminder of how curated our content is and how whoever is running the media that gets in front of our eyes, like they really can control us not seeing anything or seeing or being inundated with the same thing.
Yep.
And so the reality that, you know, we didn't know about this or it's not been on the news every night, you know what I mean? Like is really ridiculous. I think there's probably, honestly, there's a touch of racism inside of this too, because I can't imagine if these were Spanish Christians or if these were British Christians, 50,000 of them dead, that we would not have been hearing about it. I think there's a little bit of just racial bias in the news that we receive because, well, it's Africa, in air quotes, like it's crazy and tribal, right? But it's really not. And the fact that we're not seeing this, you can't tell me we wouldn't have seen this if this was happening in England. You know what I mean?
Right,
like, it's
exactly.
wild.
Yep.
We get the news if one person is killed in England, like in a stabbing or a shooting. So yeah, I mean, I think there's a part of it there, but it's also just a reminder to me of how like I need to like not just trust everything that's coming to me in the media as this is the whole story.
Yeah.
Because the fact that this has been hidden from our eyes in a lot of different ways is troubling. I mean, this is a part of the world that's on fire, but there's a lot of different places in the world that are on fire at the same time. And so it is kind of another one of those things where it's just like hard to keep track of it all and hard not to just get compassion fatigue because of all that's happening. But I was really troubled and disheartened that I had not heard about this until the last week or so.
Yeah.
Me too.
I am a little encouraged to see how many different organizations are finding ways that they can help right now. And like it even provides in the article ways that you can donate towards those organizations and volunteer to kind of help out. But I know that there's often discussion about how here in America we are persecuted. And then you hear stories like this and it's like, okay, are we really? What do you say to those people who say that, in American Christians?
Well, Abby, my Starbucks cup used to say Merry Christmas and now it's just red.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, this is ridiculous, right? Like this is another one of those examples. Like, let's remember that our world is not the world and God cares about the world. And our world is a part of the world, right? And it's a dangerous thing when you start to think that your world is the world because your small problems become massive and it's the only thing that you see. So this is a great reminder of what's actually going on and what's happened for generations. And we're not perfect in America, but like I got to like go worship freely in public on Sunday.
Yeah.
And other people did too. And I got to say what I wanted, how I interpreted the Bible, and we're all still here. You know what I mean? Like, and people could raise their hands, they could sing, they could do all the things. And nobody was checking my religious status at the door when I went into Aldi afterwards. And so to your point, I think this should give us perspective and say, no, we don't have it all together, but you know what? Chill out and let's actually like be praying for and supporting these people that are actually going through this.
Yeah. Going back to our first discussion, there was a lot of talk online where people were saying, all these Christians that believe the rapture is happening, like Christians are just crazy, like they're out of their mind. And part of me was like, wow, like not all Christians are like that. Like I was a little offended. And then, looking at that wasn't an attack like what's going on in Nigeria.
Yeah. We can take the verbal stuff, right?
Right. Yeah. And I think we just often get caught up in like disagreements and things like that and think that those are terrible things that are happening to Christians in America, but it's nothing.
Yeah. I found myself feeling honestly a little bit convicted after reading this because I think a lot of times I can become someone who gets stuck in my own little bubble and I am, on Facebook or maybe reading comments that I probably should just stay out of. And I feel so offended. And I know we just finished a series on being unoffendable, which I felt like was really great for me in this moment because, it's so easy for me to see one Facebook post that I disagree with, or maybe somebody who believes differently than me posted something. And I'm like, oh, well, they just don't understand. Or I don't know. It just like bubbles up something in me that makes me want to share with them, what it is that I believe, because of course what I believe is the right thing or whatever. And it's just like, man, why am I so worried and caught up about that when I should be worried and caught up and praying for these people who are literally being persecuted for what they believe in a way that is more than just a Facebook post or a TikTok or whatever. So yeah, this was eye-opening for me.
I'll go ahead and link to a few of those organizations that we talked about in the show notes. So if you'd like to donate or find ways that you can help out, you can check out those organizations linked in the show notes. If you have any topics or questions you'd like us to talk about, you can email those to atypicaltalkpod@gmail.com. You can follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok at atypicaltalkpod. And make sure to subscribe on your favorite podcast platform to get updates when new episodes go live. We hope that these conversations today have helped you think wider, love deeper, and partner with God to bring the up there down here in your everyday life. Thanks for listening.
Take a look. It's in a book.
Reading Rainbow.